Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 36 of Morgan Reach TV. Today we are joined by a very special guest, someone who is quite literally changing the look of British policing. Officer Detective Sergeant Yassine Desai is a dedicated member of Leicestershire Police, but his impact has recently been felt nationwide. While serving his community on the front lines, Yassine identified a critical gap in the inclusion and safety of Muslim female officers. The lack of a fit-for-purpose, operational and safe headscarf. What started as an observation turned into a multi-year journey of innovation. Working alongside designers at De Montfort University, Yassine has pioneered the blue light hijab, a world-first design that balances religious requirements with the rigorous safety demands of active police duty. Recently, his invention is storming the media and is being approved for national rollout across the UK forces, with international inquiries flooding in. But beyond the headlines, Yassine is a practicing brother whose journey into the force and his inventor streak offer a fascinating look at the future of policing. We're going to deep dive into his life in Leicester, his experience as a Muslim officer, and how he has navigated the complexities of design and red tape to leave a lasting mark on the thin blue line. So please join me in welcoming Yassine to Morgan Reach TV. Alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
No, thank you for inviting me.
So you are Leicestershire Police
Yes.
Constabulary.
Just Leicestershire Police.
It's just Leicestershire Police.
Yeah,
Is it? Okay, fantastic. So thank you so much for coming on today, making this journey. And thanks to all your superior officers and everyone who gave you permission to come down today, especially with your lovely patrol car.
Yeah, it was nice to get out in the Panda car today.
Yeah, brilliant. So you've got quite an interesting story. So we're really glad to have you on. First police officer that we've had on our podcast.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's kind of your first proper police officer. Obviously, I've been a special in my career. Cameron Sheikh, IMD, and Morgan Reach has been special for 25 years as well. But that's where our connection is, isn't it? 'Cause that's how we kind of met through what's the organisation called for the Muslim Police?
It's the Association of Muslim Police. So I'm part of the Association of Muslim Police locally within Leicester. Founded that some 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But we're part of the National Association of Muslim Police, so the NAMP.
Yeah, and that's where we met, wasn't it? Because it was at dinner for the NAMP.
Yeah.
When you guys came to Birmingham.
Yeah.
So that was a good introduction at the time.
Quite some time ago.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Well, I'm pleased to have you on today. I know it's been quite difficult getting in the diary, getting things organised. So let's start from obviously with your career.
Yeah.
So when you were a teenager, did you know you wanted to be a police officer? What was the kind of journey into it?
Completely opposite, really. It was never even a thought of mine to become a police officer. So a lot of people have either police officers in their family or have always aspired to, be a police officer or a fireman or a pilot or anything like that. But actually, I didn't know what I wanted to do, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I had no clue, absolutely no clue. It wasn't a lifelong ambition or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just kind of fell into it. My family comes from a business background, but in the textile industry. Okay. They were the first screen printers in Leicester to set up and start screen printing in Leicester. So they were the first to set up business and do that. So, many people that came over to Leicester from Africa, very entrepreneurial, and set up business. And my dad and his brothers were one of the first in Leicester to go into that particular area and sector.
Yeah.
And then people followed on from there and became very successful. And, Leicester's got a very broad and historic history and entrenched history of being in the textile area. And it's something that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do and what I wanted to go into. And I kind of just bimbled along into school and college and university, but business was always the kind of backbone of where I was interested in and what I was interested in doing. So I did my business studies at college and then BA honours. Started off as a BA honours and then finished with a business studies degree at De Montfort University. And I did my placement year, my third year placement at Leicestershire Police, in a strategic role.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing my final year part-time, joined full-time, and then back in 2000, so 25 years ago.
Wow.
So I've been in policing 25 years, and kind of the rest is history, really. I spent 6 years as a police staff doing corporate strategy.
Yeah.
So doing strategic role, research and development was kind of my backbone.
Okay.
And then I fell into uniform policing, mainstream policing post 9/11 and 7/7.
Wow,
Counterterrorism was my interest and still is my interest. And I felt that, when I was in environments where I was the only Muslim in the room and I was advising around the impact on the Muslim community, following local and world events, everyone else was in uniform, wearing similar clothing to what I'm wearing now, and I was the only one not. So I thought maybe that's what I need to do. That's maybe where the influence can come from. So I joined as a police officer, did the 2 years and then 3 years on uniform patrol, and then realised that my career aspiration was in counterterrorism. So I went into CID in October 2009, having done 3 years in uniform response. And I've been a detective ever since. And I'm currently in a detective sergeant role. Spent most of my career within CID, with some attachments and some time in counterterrorism, and also within murder investigations, serious crime, serious acquisitive crime, complex investigations. Been in part of a number of homicide investigations in Leicester. Worked outside of the county as well. So a very broad career to date, some covert work as well. But yeah, a real interest in fine-grained detailed investigation. And now I'm in a supervisory role, kind of bringing up the new generation of police officers.
Yeah. So that's what you're in right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So have you found a kind of transition from business into policing? What was the kind of family reaction and things?
Again, I was the first in my family to become a police officer.
Yeah.
And it was something that they were supportive. It's deep rooted within our faith around safeguarding and justice.
Yeah.
And for me, it was something that just felt very natural. Research, fine-grained detail. Probably, to be a copper, you need to be quite nosy as well. And I kind of fell into it, and it became and felt very natural. But underpinning that kind of transition was around my faith. When I joined Leicestershire Police, I was the only Muslim with a prayer hat on and a traditional dress. And I needed to kind of understand and find my way at that point when I was a police staff and wasn't in uniform, in terms of, where was it that I could pray and do my daily prayers? Where could I do my ablution, my preparation, washing before the prayer? How would I adapt to fasting in the holy month for 30 days or 29 days? And, how would that kind of reflect, and how would I be able to do that whilst working in a police service, in a police environment? So, I had the support of some really good managers and some really good colleagues to be able to make that transition.
I was going to say, did you find it difficult in the early days, or
it was difficult because there weren't many people, or there weren't anyone that looked like me.
Yeah.
And I had the great support from friends who were from black support networks, from Black Police Association, Christian Police Association, founded associations, staff networks that have been established for quite some time. The Christian Police Association has been founded for over 100 years. So I found a lot of support from colleagues who are from that background and supportive background, and especially from a faith background. They understood the need to be able to, and want to practice your faith whilst in the workplace, and how that affected someone from a faith background. So I was really fortunate to be able to get involved in support networks, to be able to get that support for myself, but also to be able to bring other people up that were joining and becoming part of the police service as well.
So in the Muslim Association, so you were a founding member of the Leicester?
So 2009, we founded the Association of Muslim Police locally in Leicester. But preceding that, there was, around 2000, 2003, some Muslims from nationally coming together to say we need a national network. And I attended some of the meetings around that to kind of say, look, is this something that Muslims around the country felt that was needed? And absolutely it was, because we were all fragmented across 43 forces, geographically, nationally, within Great Britain. So, to be able to have that ability to have a group and a network to be able to assist each other, support each other, was really, really important. I was, representing the Black Police Association locally and nationally, but the nuances around faith, and specifically the Muslim faith, the Islamic faith, were very different. So I felt that, at that point, to have that support network nationally and locally was really important. And I could see that, how I found my way and getting those supports and that support and putting things in place for myself, I thought I needed to replicate and put that in a more constructive format, to be able to then assist others locally and nationally. So absolutely, we supported the National Association of Police to come into fruition, and then that gave us the platform to be able to set up locally in Leicester as well. So on the back of that, we set up in Leicester in 2009, 17th of December 2009. I still remember that first meeting that we had, and kind of that was the starting point for the AMP in Leicester. But before that, in 2005, from my journey of finding a small cupboard to do my daily prayers in, again, I felt there was something better that I could do to set up something for not only for myself, but more so for others to come. So I set up the first multi-faith prayer room at our force headquarters. We never had one before. I identified a space. And even then, going through the barriers around money, funding, need, space is always an issue in buildings. I managed to break down some of those barriers with the support of colleagues and the Chief Constable at that time.
Did you find that difficult? Was there a lot of red tape around it?
A lot of red tape, yeah. But as soon as I was able to have a one-to-one chat with the Chief Constable, Matt Baggett, at that time, and explain why I wanted it, the need for me, but also the vision for the future. The barriers suddenly became non-existent, and we opened up.
Way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Inclusion.
Yeah.
How have you found the numbers? The numbers, like over the last kind of decade, the numbers of Muslim police officers?
Muslim police officers, again, steadily growing, not as maybe as much as we would like to, but again, that's, across all faith groups and across, representation as a whole. We're in a lot better place now, 25 years later than we were, but there's still a long way to go. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. But commendable work, because, I know the red tape and stuff involved in police departments and things, so it's been
It's about education at the end of the day,
awareness, isn't it?
It's about education, and again, it's about managing your own expectations around people's knowledge and understanding. It's not always ignorance. It's not ours. It's not always malice. It's sometimes just lack of exposure. If you're brought up from a certain environment or have a certain level of exposure to certain things, you don't automatically understand them or understand it or can appreciate it. So, it's an article of our faith to be able to educate people about our faith. And that's the biggest thing, communication. For me, that's been the thing that I've learned the most. If you can talk, you can be about right with people and explain, why you do what you do or how you do it, and explain the reasons why and how it's important to you, then, you can break down a lot of barriers.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's society in general now.
Yeah, of course. It's not just in the police. Yeah, as you say, it's in everything.
Yeah.
And we had a similar conversation with NHS lead doctor in hospital, and it was very similar. very similar things. So it's education and awareness and proving that need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So from what you've said so far, because I've learned a lot of stuff about you already, so I didn't know you had a business degree and I wasn't aware of your family textile background. It kind of starts coming together.
Yeah, research development,
yeah,
corporate strategy,
yeah,
and then leading up to where we are and the reason why we're here, Blue Light Hijab. So
that's it.
I joined Leicestershire Police in August 2000, and then at that point, again, like I was saying, it was around how I could practice my faith in the workplace.
Yeah.
So I was looking at my own needs and then thinking, well, if maybe I could put this in place for others to come. So for myself, but then for the benefit of others and for the benefit of the organisation as well, because being that critical friend, being able to educate and inform, and then it's about the attraction piece, about recruitment, and then about retention as well.
Yeah.
So for me, it was around those elements. So, we talked about facilities for prayer, for ablution, uniform, halal food, all manner of things, basic principles around
how has
practice
been the
faith.
take-up of every aspect? Have you made kind of changes or been able to facilitate changes throughout?
Yeah, absolutely. So every angle of looking at those elements is about and understanding what's in place and then looking for any opportunities for improvement. So, talk about facilities for prayer. We talked about the first prayer room being set up at Leicestershire Police Headquarters in Enderby in Leicester in 2005. Talking about other prayer rooms being set up in different stations. So everywhere I've gone, the main 3 stations that I've been to myself and been stationed at, I've ensured that there's either a prayer room or a multi-faith prayer room set up, or it's been improved upon to meet the needs of Muslims. Because it's only when you go there and you see for yourself what is or isn't in place and how you can improve it, then you understand, right, okay, well, here is the need. And then when I leave, or when I'm reallocated, or when I leave, then at least it sets the benchmark and left a legacy. Absolutely. And, and I've seen the uptake of Muslims praying in multi-faith prayer rooms huge compared to when I first joined. At that point we had no prayer room, and then we had a multi-faith prayer room, and it was just me. So I was going off-site to be able to pray my Friday prayer in congregation, because there wasn't enough people. There weren't minimum of 3 people to do a congregational prayer on a Friday. I had to go off-site to do that. And then slowly now, we're now 20 years on since June 2005. Now there's Friday Jummah prayers, Friday congregational prayers, where the multi-faith prayer room is not big enough now. So now they have to either go to a bigger room to be able to
just for that Friday prayer,
prayer, because there's now so many Muslims that need to pray on a Friday congregationally that room is not big enough anymore. Wow. So it's fine for the day-to-day prayer during the day, but that congregational prayer is not big enough anymore. So it's getting to that stage. So, that's really great to see. And it's really, a grateful aspect of my life that I can leave that legacy behind for the benefit of others, ultimately. It's to benefit those people that need a place to pray day to day, and that we've got these things in place. We've got flexibility around Ramadan and fasting. So people are able to have the flexibility on a case-by-case basis, depending on their operational requirements, of course. So there's an ability to be able to have flexibility around working hours, as long as there's enough staff to be able to meet the operational need around start and finish times. So again, not reducing the amount of hours worked, but more around when they start and when they finish to fit in with the requirement for the fasting day. Lots of things around patrol, around community, around all of those things. So lots and lots of different aspects around Muslims and being able to practice their faith, not only for the staff and for the members themselves, but also for the community. So we have a lot of interaction with the community, that local aspect of things. Because again, one of the biggest things for me as a Muslim coming into the police service is, what value do I add? Yes, I've got a collar number and I've got a number and I've got an ID number, and my name's Yasin and so is Muhammad and so is Ahmed, but they're just a member of staff. But what, as an individual, do I come with what value do I add as an individual to my organization, to my service, to my force, but also what value do I add to the community? And that for me is really important, because if we can make a difference, you can make a difference to one individual life, but you can also make a difference to your community. You can make a difference to all communities, because if you bring and add value, then you leave a lasting impression. You don't know that child, that individual, that person that you meet. They may have, because we meet, as in policing, we meet people generally when they're at crisis.
Yeah, of course.
At the worst points in their life, either they've been burgled, someone's disturbed their sanctity around their home, they're in an emergency or a critical situation in terms of their personal life or their marriage or their relationships with their family, and something terrible has happened. And we're there to assist them, to counsel them, to support them, to safeguard them. But we bring part of ourselves to that situation and to that job. And we bring our faith, we bring our background, we bring our education, we bring our perspective into that particular interaction. So it's about what difference we can make to those individuals, and then wider to the community as well, and to our community and to all communities.
Yeah, fantastic. From your perspective, I'm not sure how much you've been involved in like careers but just generally in the community, when you meet people and you like in the Muslim faith and you tell them that you're a police officer, do you find that there's a bit of, I wouldn't want to do that kind of thing? Do you think there's that kind of attitude still?
I think there's a mix, really. From my 25 years of experience, there's a mix. There's an understanding of the need. So there's one part of the community that say that's brilliant.
Yeah.
We need representation in all sectors, whether that be doctors, moving away from the traditional doctors, dentists, lawyers, accountants, lawyers, that kind of thing. So breaking that mold. Yeah. I'm sure my dad would have wanted me to be one of those.
Yeah.
But so there's moving away from that traditional mindset of, yes, it's great to have representation in all sectors, compared to, I don't know how I could do that, or in general, from all, you get that from every walk of life. And then there's an element of, but how do you facilitate that in your faith?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then there's the element of an anti-establishment kind of feeling of, no, that doesn't fit with being a Muslim. But then for me, I'm thinking, well, justice, safeguarding, support, being a conduit, being a critical friend, has a large value. So that's why I talk about adding value.
Yeah, like you said, going to situations where people are at their worst time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're facilitating, you're helping them.
And also educating as well. So I'm educating the community about policing, and also educating the organisation around how to deal with sensitive issues. We've had issues in Leicester. All cities have issues. All forces have issues.
Yeah.
But if I can be a conduit to support the community, but also to assist the organisation to handle the situation better, then that's where I've added my value.
Would you say, because I've heard this before myself, but someone looking at careers, someone looking at a job with the police, like a Muslim, would they then necessarily, their previous thought would have been, or their previous attitude may have been, that they have to kind of give up their religion or give up their practices or give up their kind of ethics to be a police officer? That's a myth now, isn't it?
I would say reflecting back on 25 years, it's not about giving up, it's about balancing. You have to balance, like everything in life. It's a balance. You balance your relationships, you balance your work life, your home life, your work-life balance. You need to balance things. It's not always easy. It's not a walk in the park, but it's about understanding what your needs, wants, and requirements are, and balancing it accordingly.
And it's doing what you've done. If you're affecting that change,
if
you've got needs and wants and requirements, you've spoke out about it, you've joined the associations, you've helped set up the organisations to do that. So would you say nowadays, with all these organisations in place, not just for Muslims but all the other faith groups, there's never been more support?
Absolutely. And I think, again, it's not, like I said, it's not utopia.
Yeah.
There's always room for improvement, but we're a long way from where we were 25 years and from my policing career. And I think that's to the acknowledgement of all of those people that have stood up and have had the courage to offer their support, Muslim or non-Muslim, Christian or Sikh or Hindu or no faith. It's about, some of the biggest advocates are not from the Muslim faith for some of the issues that have been supported with. And this project is an example of that.
Exactly.
People appreciate it. They don't have to be Muslim to understand it and get it and to be advocate for it, because they understand the value and what it brings. And in the same way that if you have an understanding and are able to understand why something's important and why there is benefit to undertaking it. And it's not about the police service bending over backwards to facilitate everything, because at the end of the day, we're in the policing game and it's about operational need and what's the need of the organization in the police service and policing.
Yeah.
We can't service everything. We can't do everything for everybody. Just not. We don't have the resources and we don't have the ability.
Yeah.
We have to prioritize and the organization has to prioritize. But where things can be accommodated, where things can be facilitated, where there is no detriment to the service that we provide to all communities, then why not?
Exactly.
It's a no-brainer.
Would you say people historically and members of the public, we get accused of, I'm talking from the ethnic community, using the race card, saying that, that's not for us because it's institutionally racist. And same goes for the army, same goes for the NHS about career glass ceilings for people of different faith groups, people of different things. In your experience, you've not been affected by that. You've actually been positive towards that and you've actually affected change. So do you feel that you've ever been affected by that?
I think the biggest thing that's affected me from that perspective around progression, because we're talking about progression here, career and progression, is around the lack of role models. Is there or has there been a lack of people that have risen to the top for those reasons? And then as a consequence of that, is there the lack of role models to be able to pull people up and support people? I've met some fantastic people in recent years and for no benefit of their own are willing to support you in your mission because they buy into it. Whether that be support you in your career or your ambition to progress or specifically this project.
Yeah.
Because they've got the buy-in, but that's because they are the right type of person and that's the type of person they are. And I've met some great people in recent times that have been massive advocates for the work that I'm doing because they're a round peg in a round hole. They get it, they understand it, and they believe in it.
And they're not positively discriminating this or whatever project you're working on. They'd be the same for anyone.
And they are.
Yeah.
They put their money where their mouth is. And that's the difference.
Them as the person.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing I found is when you've got the right person on board who has influence, who has, but gets it and is buying into it. And it doesn't have to be this and it doesn't have to be one faith, but they understand it and they get it and they believe in something, then they'll drive it for you. And they'll support you. And when you're going through a negative point and you'll say, I don't know, is it worth me spending the time, the effort, the disappointments? They're like, no, you're doing something great.
Yeah.
Don't be disappointed. Carry on. And I've had that.
Break the barriers. You got to do it. You got to challenge the norm or what's gone before.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, I've only come into, I've only started to climb the career ladder 25 years later, but that's just because of my own personal choices. But it took one person to believe in me, to push me, to say, or two people actually, I'd say. I could name two people that have said, why aren't you progressing? And on the last occasion, it was like, I haven't got any excuses now.
You've
But it's
done the
about
experience. You've been in kind of all the different departments.
Yeah.
You've done all the.
I've got no excuses. And they sold it to me at a point where I was like, you've got 25 years of policing service, almost 20 years.
Foundation.
Next month, 20 years in uniform policing.
Yeah.
You can help support the new generation.
Yeah.
Because with the, retention and the turnaround of staff, we're going to, in the police service generally, you're going to be edging 40 to 50%, if not more, younger, less experienced officers coming through with that 30-year cycle of recruitment in the service. So the new generations that are coming through, highly educated, highly tech savvy, new ways of working, new ways of thinking, utilizing new technology that didn't exist when I joined.
Yeah.
I'm not tech savvy. I'm not good with devices, but they are. And the technicalities and the technical equipment's, running with the times, and they're really, really good at doing it and using it. But they don't have and it's no fault of their own. They haven't got the experience. So for me, it's around being able to give back in a different way now.
Yeah. And
add value. I'd probably use that word again. Add value to them in their career by giving back my experience.
And thus enhancing the whole service.
Absolutely.
In your locality and regionally, basically.
Yeah. So it's about bringing on and supporting the next generation of police officers and staff coming through experience and through knowledge, and passing on that knowledge of my experience coming through, and be able to encourage and support, because sharing that and adding that value every day can make a real difference. Internally and externally.
Yeah. Asking quite a topical question now, which is obviously in the press. It's off script, to be fair. So it's something that's come to mind, and I've been reading a lot about it over the last couple of weeks, and it's been around for a little while now. The Chief Constable, West Midlands Police, under fire at the moment politically for his, it wasn't even his sole decision, but he's become the scapegoat, in my opinion. But the Tel Aviv Maccabi team and his overall decision, or the organisation's decision to not allow them to play, not allow the fans to come. Do you think that was a good call from a policing perspective, from a community perspective? Because obviously there's a lot of things going around social media that he's pro-Muslims, or he did it for ulterior motives. Yeah, there's one article that came out I saw yesterday saying that when he was selected as chief constable, there was a mosque on the panel, which is just ridiculous. Really, you can't believe everything you read online. But from your experience and cultural experience and everything else combined, what's your view on that? Did he make the right call, or?
I probably can't answer that question.
Staying diplomatic.
I can't be drawn on
one way or the other.
Decision making by a chief constable from a different force that's not personally affected me.
Yeah, but from
political.
Yeah, because internally to Birmingham, because I personally, not being forced, not being anything, having my opinion, I think he made the right call for everyone combined. For everyone, the fans that were coming, the Villa fans that were here, because we've had Villa fans on who spoke about it, and they've said, as a Villa fan, not as Muslim, not as anything else, as a Villa fan, it's the right call. And for the community, for the general policing requirements, we haven't got the resources anyway. How would I police that?
Absolutely, and I think that's the key thing, is that we as a police service are not political.
Yeah.
And we're not driven by, we're apolitical, completely neutral. So that, any chief constable would have to make a difficult decision, but they would base that decision for me, if I was in that situation, around public safety and the safety of the community and all communities.
Exactly.
And that would be my number one priority.
Yeah.
Is safety.
Yeah, of course.
So if something can be facilitated safely, then that's fine. Taking politics out of it. But if it's not safe and there are risks, then it's about managing that risk. And if the risk can't be managed, then
action needs to be taken.
You make the relevant decision accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. Great answer. Thank you for answering that. I appreciate it. It is very political and it's very hot. So that's brilliant. But so you've been in the service. You've obviously done so much positivity towards fellow Muslim officers, the police service in general. So coming to the topic point that we're here for today, the blue light hijab. When did you come up with this, or where did you see that this was an issue? The light bulb moment. The
light bulb moment. So again, it's a journey.
Yeah.
It started 20 plus years ago when I was in that corporate strategy role, looking at facilitation for my faith needs, being able to facilitate and practice my faith in the workplace. And then I thought, well, we've covered things around prayer, ablution, food, Ramadan. What about Muslim women? What do we have in place for a Muslim woman to wear a hijab in the police service in general? So I think it must have been around 2005. So really? 20 years ago, I was looking at what was in place. And I saw that there was something that had been introduced in the Met in London. Was one of if not the biggest force in the country. Something had been introduced in Scotland. So again, looking at horizon scanning, Googling it and trying to see what was what information was available. And then understanding, well, okay, so that's in place. Who produces that? Where does that come from? And I think I sourced it from South Yorkshire Police. And I realized that at that point that we didn't have any Muslim women that were wearing hijab in the service at the time that I was aware of. So I made sure that we got it in place, and we ordered some samples, and we made sure that we had a stock of that. So should someone join that wanted to wear hijab as operational officer, that there was something that was available to them. So then as the years went on, there was nobody that wanted to wear a hijab or was wearing a hijab. And then someone joined, and then they wore a hijab, and then they left a uniform role, didn't take on what was in place, but they said, I wouldn't wear that. I wouldn't wear that particular hijab because it wasn't something that they felt that they felt comfortable or would be comfortable wearing. They tried it and said, I wouldn't be comfortable wearing that. Why not? It doesn't feel something similar to what I wear in my day-to-day life, something I wear now in my non-uniform role, my CID role. And I don't think it's befitting of 20th century, 2000 and, probably 2015, 2017, something in fitting in 20th century policing, that was akin to the current police uniform. It just didn't match up in terms of its technology. So I think for them, it felt it wasn't something that they was fit for purpose. So I said, okay, so that's interesting. Coming from an R&D research background, business background, corporate strategy background, more importantly, well, surely there's something we can do better.
Why was that? So the hijab that was in place, was that just a regular tie-up? So you had to
just a regular all-in-one piece, pull over one piece, traditional, something
and
that
went kind of down the so you zipped over the top.
Just one piece that just draped over, something similar that a young girl would go to mosque.
I got you.
One piece just pull over, very traditional. Said, okay, well, I don't wear hijab, but I know, family members that do. So maybe there's something that we can acquire off the shelf. That's something that's better. So I started looking into it, and I didn't find anything different. So then I thought, okay, maybe that we can invent something, maybe we can make something, maybe we can come up, approach a company that can make something better.
Yeah.
So went down that road and hit several barriers. The main thing being that, we had one officer in Leicester and maybe a couple of officers in different forces. The numbers generally were very small.
Yeah.
So when I was approaching existing uniform producers, they were saying, well, it's not worth their while. Commercially, it doesn't make any sense for us to invest time and effort to support you in producing something, because we're not going to make any money from this. In fact, we're going to lose money because we've got to put time and effort. We've got to come off the production line, take people off there to sit down and design something with you when they could be making shirts, trousers, generic, in the tens and thousands. It's not commercially viable.
Yeah.
So I faced barriers of, just not having the ability to be able to sit down with someone. So I'm a business background. I'm not a designer. I'm not in the textile industry. So it's not something that was natural to me. So I relied upon the expertise of others.
Yeah.
But the numbers just didn't stack up for them. So then fast forward to kind of,
at this point, had you approached the kind of your superior officers and the right channels to kind of look into this?
Kind of, yes, kind of from an AMP perspective, just saying, look, I'm looking to try and improve something, make something more viable, doing it from my AMP background, and trying to, like I say, make improvements, facilitate improvements. Not only for Leicester, and at that time it was for Leicester, but also thinking nationally as well. Because if that's the one problem, Leicester's going to be the same problem for others.
Of course.
Because there wasn't anything else in existence. So kind of then I realised that, in the early 2021, I think it was, other entities that were starting to launch products. So there was North Yorkshire that launched a hijab that they had developed with their local community. There was a hijab that was developed in New Zealand for their one officer that had come through their training department, and they spent 18 months research and development with their university to develop something. So I thought, great, I remember being in my workplace and just coming across it, every now and then I used to Google it and something popped up and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I still remember thinking, finally, someone's had the strength and the ability and the confidence to be able to develop something. This is great. Maybe we can again, off the shelf and don't reinvent the wheel and bring this across. So, I contacted them, contacted New Zealand Police and said, this is amazing. It's maybe exactly what we've been looking for. Can we work together? Can we get your product across? Can we trial your product? And, maybe this is the fit for us.
Yeah.
So
Problem solved.
Yeah. So many hours of conversations of their time zone and early morning and late night and fitting in with their time zone and to meet with them and meet with the New Zealand Police and Massey University in New Zealand, and eventually negotiated an international licensing agreement to get their product over. Several parcels DHL'd across, and trials with my colleagues. By that point, we'd had a couple more people join, which was really grateful for. So some of them were in training. So I said, look, here's a sample, try it on, and trialed it. And we hit quite a lot of positive media around the trials that we were doing in Leicester of the New Zealand product. I then also looked at, national provision. So went to the Home Office and said, there's a National Uniform Working Group, which I became part of, and said, look, this is what we're doing. This is the work we're doing, and got introduced to the North Yorkshire product and introduced the New Zealand product and said, look, this is the trials that we're doing. I also became aware of a hijab that the NHS have in place. So again, we had 3 different models to be able to trial in Leicester. And said, right, here you go, guys. This is what's available. Try it. And if you want any of these 3, I'll push for it to be implemented for your use, because it's going to be better than we've got now. So my colleagues, to their best of their abilities, and they trialed it, and I asked for the feedback, and to credit them, they gave it their best and said, right, okay, let's try it, see what we've got. And they gave really valuable feedback on each one, and said, actually, these are the benefits of this one, but these are the detriments. And actually, overall, we identified in Leicester that it just wasn't fit for purpose for my colleagues in Leicester.
What was the overriding reasons for that?
Comfort, suitability, aesthetics, just wasn't a fit for them as a collective group. It wasn't just one person's wishes or wants. It was a collective group of people, all had similar feedback that it just wasn't fit for purpose. Something that was fit for that individual or that service in New Zealand, or was fit for purpose for that individual in North Yorkshire, or the design that was available for the NHS in a different environment, of course, to policing, just wasn't fit for purpose for Leicestershire police officers that I was working with that were operationally hijab wearers. So I said, okay, back to the drawing board, went back to my national colleagues and said, look, can we club together? Anyone that's interested? I had a lot of support from West Midlands Police, where we're now. And they were looking at similar things, and we said, let's join forces and kind of develop things together, and with the assistance of the National Association as well. We had some conversations, and we looked at taking a project forward. And at that point, again, hit a barrier around finance, because it's not shirts and trousers. It's not numbers.
Yeah.
So to go to a producer to say, make me 10
niche products,
make me 100, because I don't know how many Muslim hijab wearers we've got in the police service that this will service. But if we can make a product that's viable, then maybe we will attract more people to join, but actually maybe we can design something that's safe and is better than we've got now.
Yeah.
So I hit an immediate commercial barrier of minimum order quantity. It was in its thousands, and thousands cost money. So I didn't have the ability to be able to finance that on my own. So I went to all forces and said, is this something that we'd be interested in funding together? And unfortunately, I didn't get any response. No one was able to put forward money to be able to support a project where there wasn't any immediate payback.
Like you said, priorities. Yeah.
And
budget constraints.
Budget constraints, cuts.
Yeah.
All of the different dynamics. No central funding, it's all devolved funding.
Yeah.
So, there just wasn't the appetite. So that was kind of 2020.
Yeah.
Leading to 2021 with the New Zealand product. That then, the trials ended with the 2020 in 2021. So then kind of 2021 to 2022, I was kind of thinking, what can I do? Because the New Zealand product's not fit for purpose for us. It is for them. The other products are not fit for purpose for us, for Leicester. It's suitable for, and they're great products, but just not for us. So, and as well as the NHS one. So what can we do? Because we've still got Muslim officers, Muslim hijab wearers in Leicester who are wearing who are wearing their own hijab that for me, I don't feel comfortable is safety compliant. So what can I do? So I thought, I'm an ex-De Montfort University student. They've got expertise in design, in textiles.
Being in the city of Leicester.
Being in Leicester, it's someone I can knock on a door locally. Why don't I try that? So identified through my local policing beat team, we have a beat team within De Montfort University, within the student community. Tapped into the right people, identified the right person to speak to within the business arena, within the consultation arena, within the textile arena, and had a sit-down meeting, said, is this something you'd be interested in supporting Leicestershire Police in developing? And I had the support of my Chief Constable to be able to make that approach. Because I'd approached nationally other forces, got nowhere. Approached the National Youth and Working Group as a collective group.
Yeah.
Didn't get any tangible financial support to be able to collaborate on that. So I said, maybe they will be able to collaborate, but let's see. I don't know. So I knocked on the door. In policing, there's a well-known phrase: if you don't shake the tree, you don't know what's going to fall down. You don't know what's going to come of it. If you don't try, you don't get.
Yeah, exactly.
So I tried. I didn't give up. And actually, I was really surprised because the reception I got was like, because I explained the story, I explained the journey, I explained the barriers, I explained the vision, and the application, and the need,
and potential future need,
and the potential future, absolutely, massively. And from a design perspective, purely from an academic design perspective, they're like, we really like this. This is definitely something, and I have to come back to the word value, this is definitely something that we can add value to, because we come from a textile design background. And actually we can add value to your project, and we can understand and get, and are invested in being able to give back to our local community, to our local Leicestershire police community as well.
Yeah.
So as an existing partner, they were really up for partnering up. And actually in the end, they part financed it as well. They went 50-50 with the finance of it.
Okay.
Supported the project. We applied for an innovation fund application, got it. They put half the money, we put half the money. It was a £15,000 project.
Yeah.
Supported by my Chief Constable, Rob Nixon, who was the sponsor, retired Chief Constable now. And again, supported me to be able to take it forward and facilitate the project very quickly and very streamlined. Designed it with academic background, with academically backed. Took 3 months to design this, but the development has been going on for 3 years.
Yeah.
Plus
and longer for you.
Plus,
yeah,
in terms of specifically this design. So we designed it very quickly.
Yeah.
Legally protected the IP around the design and the branding, Blue Light Hijab. By which stage I'm years on and I'm totally invested in it.
Yeah.
But I'm doing this in my own time. I'm doing it in, I'm a full-time detective. So
that was one of my questions, because I was going to say, obviously you've got
doing it in my own time. Alongside my day role.
Well.
So balancing my day job.
Yeah.
But again, supported by some great people, supported by managers, supervisors, and colleagues that are picking up the slack when I'm spending time on this.
Yeah.
Picking up when I'm facing barriers and supporting me on my journey.
Yeah.
Supporting me not only by supporting me saying, do you want me to help you with that in my day job, knowing that I've got competing demands with this project, but also supporting me as an individual, saying, don't give up, you're doing a great thing here. So that support can come in lots of different ways.
Yeah, of course it can.
So
probably just financial.
Not only financial, not only workload, but balance and adding value.
Yeah.
So lots of people, they know who they are, have added value to this project, but their name's not anywhere, but they're the unsung heroes.
Yeah, fantastic.
But, that support came from lots of different places to be able to then get the product designed, developed, and then legally protected.
Branded.
And
ready to roll.
Legally protected, branded, and then culminating in lots of development work with De Montfort University, to the point where we then launched last month in December.
Yeah, definitely. Because you've got the model piece here.
Yes.
Could you show us on the other piece that you've got, like how it?
Yes, absolutely.
The mechanism and stuff.
So
what makes it special?
The key features of this hijab and the essence of the Blue Light Hijab is around safety.
Yeah.
The hijab itself is a faith-based article of uniform, of headwear. Muslim women wear hijabs the world round. But in policing, from my perspective, and this has been borne out since we launched, the amount of messages I've received from Muslim women in different sectors, probably covering one of your other questions around application, but I've had tons and tons of messages of thank yous from Muslim women who are hijab wearers in so many different sectors. In policing, in security, close protection security, in nursing, doctors, nurses, dental, veterinary,
it's only a
caring
role, isn't it? It could be used in
multiple different vocations, saying thank you so much. This is exactly what's needed. What I've tried to achieve is the clip-on police tie that just comes away. The lanyard, that just comes away with the safety clip. I've done that to the hijab, because what I've tried to achieve is to make a technically sound, fully encompassing, religiously backed, appropriate, operationally appropriate hijab that is fit for modern day policing, but also meets the religious, cultural needs, but also the health and safety needs and operational needs of modern day policing. By having a hijab that will perform when it needs to, stay in place when it needs to, but also come away at the most critical point when it needs to. And that's across private industry, whether that be a machine pulling the hijab or a conflict situation in emergency services. Because unfortunately, we have emergency services workers assaulted every day. Every few minutes there's one assaulted, unfortunately. And that's across the NHS, ambulance, fire, and police. It's a reality, unfortunately, of modern day society that emergency service workers my colleagues are assaulted on a regular basis. It's not part of the job, and it's not acceptable. So my adding value to this particular area of work is around a hijab that can be safe and applicable in lots of different vocations
and scenarios.
And making it a viable product. So our product is magnetized along the soft tissued neck area. It just comes away.
So if you were to pull on that,
it just comes away.
So
if you were to pull that now, if you were wearing that, but there's almost, if not more, 2 kilos of strength of that pull. So it'll hold in place when it's being worn, but it'll come away if you pull it. And then you pull that there, it's just really easy.
It's pinged open,
But
and then what's it made from? Is it?
It's made from
it's fireproof and things.
So it's not fireproof because of the materials that it's a natural fiber. That we're using. We're using a fiber called micromodal. So it's made from natural wood fiber, but it's soft. It's pliable. It's made for different weather environments. So in policing, we go in different environments, whether it be summer, whether it be winter, whether it be indoor, whether it be outdoor. So again, Muslim women, hijab wearers who are operational officers have selected the design, did part of the design process nationally, selected the fabric, understood the weight, the composition, using experts within De Montfort University, within the textile environment experts. We've designed it with the safety feature in mind, access points for communication devices, for our radios, for wired headphones. We've also, and we're adding what we're calling auditory access points within the ear area as well, on both sides. So your doctors for stethoscopes, your paramedics for stethoscopes. I've had messages from ladies who want to wear it for fitness. So headphones, ear pods, auditory access points there as well. So we've got access points for those uses as well, for multifaceted areas of use in all different industries. And, we've done lots and lots of rigorous testing. We've put it through its paces to make sure it's operationally sound. And then we also have the inner piece as well, The inner headband also has safety features. It has two seams. So if that outer headband comes out, outer hijab comes out, and the inner headband stays in place, it still covers the hair and the head and the modesty aspect and the religious requirement still in place. But if that was to come down over the neck and was pulled by a machine, by an individual, then those seams, quick release seams, will come away as well. So both aspects, both elements are have safety features, inherent safety features.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. See, thinking about it, you'd never know that all this, all the thought and consideration would have to go into it.
And actually that piece there, that magnetized clasp, that placket has been the biggest barrier in terms of its development because it didn't exist.
Really?
That, in that form, for a headwear piece, it didn't exist.
Because it's very lightweight as well, isn't
Dartmouth
it?
University designed it. They invented it.
Yeah.
In this current guise. So we've developed and innovated a piece of technology around magnetized closure for headwear because it didn't exist. Yes, it exists in terms of in a different guise for costumes for theatre, curtains, for example.
Yeah.
But in an application where it's suitable for uniform headwear, it didn't exist. In operational use. Yeah. So a lot of thought's gone into that. That was the biggest development part. And why it took 3 years. You might think, why is it taking? It looks so simple, looks so easy.
Yeah.
Why is it taken over 3 years to develop? 3 years of R&D because of the complexities. Because there's lots and lots of things around fabric composition, weight, the right fabric, magnetize the right magnets that hold in place when it needs to but come away when it needs to, thoughts around magnetic fields around communication devices, pacemakers, ICT equipment, medical equipment, lots of different factors, safety around the headband. Not only do we have magnets on the outside, but we've got the safety quick release features on the headband as well. So the hijab and the headband have safety features. So we have both of those both of those quick release aspects and both elements combined together. Sizing, color.
Because the colour has to match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is there different colours available for different applications?
So at the moment, our entry product is black.
Yeah.
But it can and will be made available in different colours. So looking at different industries.
Like the green for the nurses.
Ambulance green for paramedics, paramedic services, navy blue. So it can be made in different colours.
What about the army?
Again, wide application. So we've had inquiry from sea cadets. We've been, spoken to people about the army. Like I said, lots and lots of different applications across uniform services, but not only public sector, but private sector as well. You think about your factory worker.
Yeah, care homes.
Mental health caring facilities. Lots and lots of different applications. Anyone that's on a shop floor, that's front line. Public facing.
Yeah.
This is applicable.
Potential risk,
You could have someone that's going on the shop floor of a supermarket that goes in and out of a warehouse that this could be applied to, because the safety features of this, of someone public facing interaction with a member of the public, but also it getting caught on a piece of machinery in a warehouse or a machinery environment.
Well, saying that, I think it's got private applications.
Massively.
Because people would... Yeah, but my sister wore hijab. Her friends have worn hijab, and there's been instances where there's been issues. You catch it on the door.
But not only that.
On a hook, as in the supermarket, you got the shelf sticking out.
Yeah.
It's caught the corner.
Yeah.
And got stuck on it.
We're talking about the private application. I've had messages from Muslim women saying, I want to wear this just to go hiking and fitness.
Yeah.
Because there have unfortunately been incidents in, members of the Muslim community that have had their hijabs pulled when public spaces, there's recent research that's come out, and if you're aware of it, around, the rise of Islamophobia and the risks in public transport. So there's a real rise of Islamophobia within the public transport environment. And there's studies that have come out around the public perception of Muslims of using public transport. A recent survey has been, the results of that have been published. So there's lots and lots of applications in private, public.
I've seen a video
sector.
recently thinking about it where a lady was on a bus and racially abused and said, "You can't wear that, you shouldn't be wearing that." And she was pulled and she fell to the floor because she was pulled from behind.
Yeah.
Obviously, she had it tied up, so it pulled her to the floor. So that would be, I tell you what though, there's people selling the market for the safety pins and the elaborate pins.
Yeah.
You put them out of business. Because this applications, it's brilliant, fantastic.
And the interest has not only been within the emergency services in the UK, but we've had interest from abroad as well. So there's been we're already out in several forces in the UK that are using this.
So it's now operationally gone effective as of
absolutely,
December,
absolutely. So samples and products gone out. Officers in the UK, other than Leicester, are wearing it. We've got London Search and Rescue. They're one of our partners. They're using it.
Yeah.
We've got a number of organisations. We've had lots of inquiries from the NHS. So my appeal to anyone watching this, if you're in the NHS, I've had lots and lots of nurses, doctors contacting me saying, "This is amazing. This is exactly what I've been fearing could happen to me of my hijab being pulled. This needs to go within mainstream NHS. So if you're an NHS manager or NHS procurement, then get in touch. bluehijab.co.uk or blh@leics.police.uk. Get in touch. We can make this available, because for me, it's not about anything else other than adding that value, and it's about safety, because that's the biggest thing. That's the feedback I've had from ladies who are in frontline roles, and believe it or not, they've said they've had to turn down work, or they've been told you can't work. You can't work for us environment unless you take your job off, and they've not been willing to do that
because of health and safety risks.
Yeah,
of course.
Because there's not been a product to this level of health and safety application that this product will not be used as ligature against the individual wearing it.
So how's it working? Because obviously it's not a commercial thing; it's a value-adding thing, but
it's a commercial product
because they have to make the money back, of course, like the investment that's gone in. But who's kind of the website and the kind of distribution? Is De Montfort University kind of handling it all, or is it
no? So
joint partnership.
We're probably, if unless someone can educate me otherwise, we're probably one of the first, if not the first, police force in the country to sell a commercial product.
Okay, well.
So we're selling this product. It's owned by Leicestershire Police.
Brilliant.
So it's available from Leicestershire Police as a commercial product.
Awesome.
We own it.
Yeah.
And we are making it available to all police forces.
Well, worldwide.
Worldwide, any emergency service, any individual, and even a member of the public can buy it directly from us. So we've got retail as well as commercial capability to provide this. And that was one of my biggest things.
Yeah.
This is not just for Leicestershire Police. This is not just for the police service.
It's got to be made available.
This has got to be made available to the members of the public who wear hijab, that want to wear it and want to feel safe in public spaces.
Have you sent one to New Zealand and said, "Have a look at this one"?
I've sent them. I've sent them.
I thought you might have.
Post-launch. I've sent them my article, my launch, my press release, and some information to say, thank you for the work that you did, because it's inspired us.
Yeah, and this
is what we've produced.
And it's better than yours.
No, it's not about better.
Different.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
It's got different operational requirements. And
lots of differences, and it's to suit the needs of UK policing, UK work environments. And we've had lots of interest from abroad as well. As I said, we've had parties in the UAE, parties from the US prison service, lots of different sectors that can see the benefit. And one of the most poignant things two poignant things that have happened since we launched. One was a mother of one of our most newest officers reached out and said, "Thank you so much for producing this for my daughter to be able to wear with confidence and pride."
It's going back to what we said in the initials, the Muslim fear of joining the police force is suitable for me. Can I practice my faith?
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually our strapline, Blue Light Hijab, and the strapline confident and proud is around the feedback from Muslim women that were part of this design process. They wanted to feel confident and proud wearing the hijab at work. So that's where I've taken those two words from, because that embodies what we're talking about here. Confident and proud. We're confident and proud in our product, and Muslim women are saying that they feel confident and proud wearing it, and they want to feel confident and proud wearing something that they have the ability to go to work feeling safe.
And it doesn't disadvantage them at all.
No.
Like you said, when you've got to put your earpiece in and you've got the wire coming down, you've got a facility for that.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of covered.
Yeah, and every element of it is health and safety minded, and it's been rigorously tested.
So they also don't feel at risk, as you said, so they feel safe and secure.
No organisation now would give a lanyard that doesn't have a safety clip.
Yeah.
So, no organisation now could think about allowing their staff to wear something that could be used as a ligature against them. Because that's the current picture. Yeah. Muslim women are wearing hijabs of their own purchasing, or provided by the organisation, but doesn't have inherent safety features to the level. There are other products out there,
so what's
but to the level that we've produced it.
Yeah, no, fantastic. But in your launch in December, you obviously launched your month, kind of a few weeks in now. How is it been police comms that have kind of pushed it out, released it, or is it?
No, we've had
private.
So the comms is being pushed out by Leicestershire Police, but we've had interest from numerous parties nationally. We've been in the Broadsheet, we've been in the Telegraph, we've been on ITV, we've been on BBC. How did that
all come about? From a press release?
One press release through police comms and DMU.
Yeah,
so
awesome
combined partnership.
How were you expecting such a response?
I was half expecting it, but not to the level we had, because some of our stuff went viral. We had a lot of hate.
Yeah, of course.
Which I expected.
Yeah.
We had a lot of a lot of exposure around the launch of it, overwhelming support.
Yeah.
But a lot of hate as well.
It's a bit funny though, isn't it? Because the hate kind of drives the promotion.
Absolutely.
So it's absolutely like brilliant.
Absolutely.
Hate away. Because every time you post or comment, it brings it to the attention of another, whatever it is, 100 people, 80 people.
100%. Yeah. And for me, the feedback of the ladies that have reached out to me to say, thank you so much, outweighs any level of hate that we've received.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it demonstrates, and it's, all of the 3+ years of hard blood, sweat and tears that's gone into this has just melted away because of the feedback of thank you so much. This is exactly what's needed.
If someone's attacked or gets caught up in a machine or something and it saves one life,
then my work's been done.
Yeah,
it's been worth it.
Yeah,
massively.
100%. And that's the case of all safety equipment, isn't it? It's all safety materials. So no, it's very commendable. And it's been I know, because I spoke to you back, I think it must have been September, when we met at the NAMP event in the evening, and you was lining up for the launch.
Yeah.
And even I thought, because I was working in marketing, working in media, I thought, you're going to get some press on this. I thought you were going to get the hate as well, because obviously it's just the topic at the moment, isn't it? Islamophobia. But I was impressed. When I was seeing all the stuff myself,
social media
stuff, I was like, oh my god,
broadsheets, international.
Yeah,
the story's gone to America, it's gone to Europe, it's gone to France, it's gone to Greece, it's gone to the UAE, it's gone to Saudi. Crazy.
Waiting for Donald Trump to comment on it now. He seems to like everything about London and Sadiq Khan and everything, doesn't he? So,
and
for a comment from him on Twitter.
And even now, we've got big organisations that are waiting for. Are looking at it and are assessing its suitability because they understand the value of it. and want to implement it.
From the perspective, hopefully you'll get some traction from this podcast as well. How much are they? What's the kind of commerciality around it all?
So they currently sit at £55 plus VAT.
Yeah.
With the posted PMP added onto that. It's currently made in Leicester.
Yeah.
It's even the fabric is knitted in Leicester, so it's a very local product. It's academically backed. It's been operationally tested by police, so it's got that credibility.
Yeah, brilliant. So it's available worldwide, as you said.
Yeah, we are able to ship it worldwide to members of the public as well as commercial entities. It's available to everybody.
Awesome. So what's next? Is there anything else on the agenda? Any other kind of problems that you're looking to solve?
Any other light bulb moments?
Yeah.
Interestingly, I've been approached by people who've been looking to replicate or facing problems around other faiths. So headwear example for the Sikh community. Something that they've seen religious headwear being developed and in line with uniform services and emergency services. So I've been approached, how did I do it? What did I do? How did I get assistance, support? So I've had those inquiries as well.
Brilliant.
To be able to support other people. And that's really important. Again, it comes back to probably my word of the podcast is adding value. If I can add value and support someone else to quicken their process of getting something made, something designed, support them where I can, avoid the pitfalls and, add that value to their project for it to come to fruition and
Faster.
Support,
Yeah.
then, something I'm very happy to do and very much up for, being involved in.
Brilliant. And so your inventor days, is that it?
No, absolutely not. And, it kind of stems from my, my corporate strategy and my research and development background. I'm the national lead for uniform and equipment for the NAMP. So encompassing within that is, all of the aspects around, uniform, consultation around needs and wants. This angle of producing a product is just one arm of that. Being able to be that supportive perspective around uniform and equipment, also keeps me busy around that side of things. Adding that value to, national forums, any changes, any, additions, any consultation around that as well. So keeps me busy from that perspective. But, absolutely, if I can support, like I said, another colleague or someone else to bring a product to fruition. We've looked at and we've implemented also an off-the-shelf product this time around disposable hijab. So keeping the hijab theme, medical grade, something was invented in COVID times. So applications around Muslim detainees within policing, custody suites. So we've got a disposable hijab that we've procured from a medical supplier. So again, it's made of a very pliable, very easy to rip fabric. So we've got that in place in Leicester. So again, I can share that with anyone that wants that detail. It's an off the shelf product. It's not my product. So it's widely available. It was designed for theatres within the NHS, within the hospital environment, but it's applicable across custody suites for anyone that's brought into custody that has a requirement or wishes to have a requirement to cover their hair, so reduce the risk around being used to injure themselves.
Yeah.
So been part of that process as well. And as I said, if there's a need or something that I can add value to, from my project management perspective and my experience, then, I don't think this is the end, and I like to be able to take this worldwide and apply it in every applicable sector, for the benefit of Muslim women, or any faith that has a need or a want to have safe uniform or a product that adds value to their life, then I'd be more than happy to support where I can.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely fantastic to meet you again and
Thank
to
you.
go through everything. And it's, hats off. for the work that you've done.
And just one last thing, with World Hijab Day coming up on the 1st of February.
Of course, yeah, because that's very prominent now, isn't it?
Very prominent. It's something that we are absolutely going to be gearing some events around and some publicity around. So again, World Hijab Day, 1st of February, raise that profile, raise that awareness to, with your colleagues. If you are in a work environment, see that if you can raise awareness around it and celebrate the strength of character and the strength of Muslim women going into all areas of work and all sectors and all workplaces, especially in current times, to wear a hijab and be confident and proud in wearing it, then, save thought and offer some support and guidance where you can and raise the profile around it in your workplace.
Brilliant. Thanks for mentioning that as well, because that's a very, very important day that's coming up. So brilliant. If anyone wanted to contact you regarding this project or regarding any other issues that we've spoken about, can I get you on the email address that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, so it's bluelighthijab.co.uk is the website for the product. It's got contact details on there for myself, and our inbox email is blh@leics.police.uk.
Brilliant. We'll make sure that's in the sub notes as well. So fantastic. Thank you very much once again.
No, thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching that podcast on Morgan Reach TV. If you liked what you heard and saw today, then look out for more to come soon, and like and subscribe.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much for watching our podcast episode today. I hope you found it very interesting and valuable for nuggets of information. If you do like this episode and do want to watch more, please do like and subscribe to our channel, and please watch out for more episodes coming soon. Thank you.